So, here we are. Creepshow Art got exposed as a bigot, and you didn't listen to me. I told you guys she was an asshole and you didn't listen, and I want compensation since I got so many dislikes. So me and Libra will be taking the piss. Ain't that right?
I simply can't wait.
And since you're here, people can't use the "you're not black, so you can't talk about this" argument.
Honestly, if you're using that argument, you already lost.
Yep. You can say it this time.
Let's get into it.
Hey, actual member of the LGBTQ+ community. I do find the depiction of the trans Captain America offensive, because the artist is clearly feminizing a character who is supposed to be a trans man for the sake of porn, not because the character can wear and do whatever they want, and fetishization is a bad thing, because it causes harmful stereotypes to be created about the community being fetishized. For example, women stereotype gay men as being either a soft Hulu bottom or a tough top because of Hulu, which is something that is completely untrue.
Fun fact, so am I. But I guess I don't count because I'm not a part of the hive mind. Like I said, if a piece of media is the reason a person has prejudices, the person is the problem, not the media. Plus, art doesn't harm the lives of real trans people in the US. And also a trans person too.
I don't see what it adds to the story. If there was a trans hero that just wanted to belong, they would probably need something to tie that into, like for example maybe he is still hated for being trans, or that the world accepts him, or that he regrets it because he was merely seeking acceptance and he has no strong motivation of his own. It's all about others. Like I feel like making him trans does fuck all, and it's all just for tokenism or fetishization.
ACTUALOIS media can harm the lives of trans people. There are multiple instances of media affecting how people think. Here's an example. Shira, that show, has multiple lesbian relationships to show kids that it's okay to be gay, and Tipo shows people that coming out doesn't have to be a big deal and they're normal people. Think for a moment if these were played in reverse. If Shira portrayed lesbians as bad guys, if Tipo made it straight character evil, it would affect how people view those groups, especially kids. They'd think that the LGBT community were horrible people. Fetishizing trans folk is similar. If they're only there for the purpose of pornography, people can change their views and come to the conclusion that this is okay to fetishize.
Yeah, seriously, people nowadays cannot tell the difference between fiction and reality. Oh, wait. This argument is the same as video games make people violent. It is ridiculous.
Kids shouldn't be looking at Captain America World 34. It's for adults. Adults know better, and as adults, we are held accountable for our actions.
I was waiting for this comment. I completely agree. Not only does it just fetishize trans men, it just makes it look like a joke. Like people don't get that we are literally so unhappy in our bodies, and to just make the ass and chest extra large and only focus on that when making the character a trans man just makes me genuinely upset. Not only that, but the claims of the creator of this video saying that it doesn't matter and that people don't really take this and such is outright ignorance. Take lesbians as an example. Most people only see lesbians as two extremely hot girls making out, and not as actual people or like they have feelings. And most guys will hear a girl say she's a lesbian and say he'll turn her straight. And that all comes from lesbians being heavily sexualized. It's honestly disrespectful for the creator of this video to think that just because it isn't bothering them that it can't affect anyone else or how people see trans men. Because a lot of this art makes me feel bad about myself, especially how that artist drew dark-skinned people. Overall, it was really offensive to me as a trans man.
Just because it makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean it's morally bad. If people can't separate fiction from porn, then they're the problem, not the porn.
Oh no, it is morally bad. Making trans and pot youth feel uncomfortable because you fetishize them and draw pot like hammerhead sharks is wrong. Especially since at the time this artist was told they were offending literally everyone. Not to mention that this isn't just porn, Dumbus, they have many SFW art that is very much offensive. It doesn't just make me uncomfortable, it makes me feel some kind of way. You need to learn when it's your place to speak above others. This one just isn't it.
You know about him too? Does his media not harm trans people?
No, it isn't.
Dark humor doesn't hurt anyone.
I know most adults know better, but plenty of adults are a lot dumber than you think. For example, even though most people treat women respectfully and are not affected by porn is still the sole reason why incels, nice guys, not actual nice guys but the ones who think they deserve sex just cause they held open a door for someone, and other people who overly sexualize or discriminate women. The same goes for other genders and sexuality. Yes.
Someone shouldn't have to censor their work because people are too stupid to differentiate fiction from reality.
The media and the creator are part of the problem. I grew up with bigot parents, my creators, who raised me to hate anyone LGBT or anyone otherwise viewed as non-Christian in nature. If I am walking around insulting them because of it, I am just as much of a problem as my parents are. At least you, as the outcome, can change your ways and change the world. SU on the subject matter for the better. You are always going to have your actions held against you. You will always deserve it. I am different now than I was growing up. For that reason I will always make sure to teach love and respect to anyone who I can. I changed my ways and how I express my beliefs to the world, altering how the world feels about that same subject. Instead of spreading such a disgusting mentally that actively harms others. Art has always been used to express yourself and your personal opinions. Anyone can leave an intense impact on any number of fans/friends around him. Trans people, at least where I live, are viewed as sexual predators who pretend to be trans to sneak into bathrooms and rape women. My parents raised me to think that. My cousins think that. They are the target of beatings, shooting, and sexual assaults regardless of how much the times have changed here. My home state is a disgusting, filthy pit of bigotry and hate where they claim God as the reason why. I am tired of losing people. I feel love to ignorance. I am just tired of all of it.
Well, yeah, but the media wasn't intended to be racist. The person was just shit at drawing. In your case, your parents did intend to hurt people. I'm sorry that happened to you, but there's a huge difference here.
So if someone draws blackface, the person is the problem but the art is fine? Is that your point?
What is it with white saviors and comparing everything to blackface?
This kind of reminds me of a video I did previously on Your Movie Sucks where it was a similar issue.
Art can affect real life to an extent. How likely do you think food Yoshi? Yes, exist. Because that's how stuff can be portrayed and it can be harmful. It the only best matter is it. Yes, media, because of how it can be shown in a certain light. Just like how everyone thinks Hollywood is this big beautiful place when actually it. Yes, a cesspool of drama, gossip, and predators. But no one talks about that because they are blinded by what is shown to them. Also, just because you one trans person that girls, do you think that it's fetishizing? Girls, do you think no other trans person is gonna be okay with it? Even that you have argued with a lot of trans people that were rightfully criticizing you because of you saying that it is a bad thing. Yeah, that should be an indication that what you're saying is actually harmful. Just saying maybe you should listen to the criticism, you get it instead of trying to defend something that is wrong.
The only people in the world who actually see Hollywood as a good place are small children and teenagers.
Also, I can apply this logic to you. Why should they change their art just because you're the one person who sees it as an issue? Also, as a trans person myself, I can confirm our community is full of idiots and too cutes. Joke's on you, because turns out due to recent news that Shannon is an asshole after all.
You're gonna see this replay a lot.
You guys know how much I like to take the piss out of idiots.
I actually do not know what this video is trying to do. Because of the fact that Rory did get called out for many times for making pretty not very well handled artwork that includes stereotypes for different races such as big exaggerated features in lips for people of color and big buck teeth for Asian people in overly feminine hips and chest for trans men, which, as a trans man myself, I find it very uncomfortable. This is how I'm being represented by this person on a Captain America headcanon. Were you trying to diss Creepshow Art for calling out this person, or you just not like them in general? I really want to know what exactly you're trying to do here and what you thought you would accomplish by doing it.
What exactly were Asian people mentioned?
They weren't. Not sure what she's referring to. If only Virgo's vocal servers were still up.
Isn't she white?
She's white, Singaporean mixed.
Also, does the commenter not know that there are some black people who do look like it? Not all of them, of course, but some of them do.
Probably not, since the only black person they've seen was probably on Steven Universe or some shit. Most of these people are white saviors after all.
You know what, NPM, I don't want to hear what you have to say. Obey or save your sad breath.
These people won't even give you the time of day. Despite you showing that respect to Shannon.
Trust me, this ain't gonna be the last time we hear from someone who didn't even watch the video.
What were you thinking when making this video?
I thought that it would be like any other one of my videos.
So shitty and unoriginal? Omeo,
Not sure how I'm unoriginal. Please elaborate.
you are video trash and agree this is shitty and very old tea.
I can already tell that this person is 12.
The thing I don't understand is why Dart wouldn't just draw a gendered Captain America for NSFW art instead of drawing a trans man with really feminine proportions, knowing that it had upset the trans community. The headcanon itself is interesting and can give some extra depth to a character. Artsy did some art of trans Captain America before going to art school, and it was pretty respectful, so it's not an art style thing. That also includes how Artsy draws pop.
I mean, maybe they just like boobs on guys. Also, you claim that the depiction has feminine proportions despite being a man. That's not very progressive of you.
Not to mention you haven't provided evidence of this.
It could be that they still want him to keep his male identity. He's portrayed with a male-like jawline yet a feminine body. Something you can't easily do with a cis female.
I mean, you can. It has up to the viewer's interpretation on if it looks that way. A cis woman can't still have a sharp jawline or broad shoulders and still be cis. Same thing for feminine features on a cis male.
I mean, they could just only be attracted to men, but still like feminine features.
Isn't that video outdated? Why are you making a video on it now when everything in that video is irrelevant now?
Obla's speech says hi. Then why is the video still up?
Because there's no reason it should be deleted.
Even though it could potentially slander someone.
As if Shannon gives a shit about slandering others.
I personally find art safety as art offensive. I am trans, and drawing a trans male with extremely feminine proportions is not okay, unless said person is showing the transition, and even then, that can be triggering for some, as they may not want to remember where they had originally been. As for the racist drawings, they are taking typical portions that certain races have, and blowing them way out of proportion.
Isn't the purpose of animation is to exaggerate features?
The thing that got me most was when they drew Anthony Mackie to look more scared-typed than what he actually looks like, as if the idea that black people don't all look a certain way is too much for their little brain to handle, and they can't be bothered to draw him how he actually is.
The idea that black people don't all look a certain way. Like how some black people might have those features, but not others?
Exactly.
Joke's on you, because turns out due to recent news, Shannon is an asshole after all.
WTF does that have to do with problematic artwork?
Maybe because someone who calls trans men fake boys is someone who doesn't exactly have trans people's best interest at heart.
It's the person that's the problem, not the media. Can't media have hours to little influence on a person's views, especially if they don't fully understand the subject? I thought people knew this already.
If you can't separate art from reality, Then you shouldn't be on the internet.
Honestly, I can see why you have that many dislikes. You missed the point, and the way you talk to people in your comment section is just plain childish. If you want actual loyal subscribers, this ain't it, and this is your most viewed video. It could have really boosted your channel and you ruined it.
Constructive criticism is childish now? Joke's on you, because turns out due to recent news, Shannon is an asshole after all.
I wasn't talking about Shannon. I'm talking about you. I don't like Shannon, and you're just as bad as she is.
So I'm just as bad as a person who stalked a woman with her husband and allowed said husband to drug rape her. All because I made a poorly received video. Fuck off.
Alright, I agree with the race stuff. However, you kinda dropped the ball with the transgender cat in America. They are fetishizing the transgender community. They are feeding into the Yowu soft boil or small bean, or just making a trans man more feminine. It's like saying this is my empty F-up. They are so strong and muscular, when that's not what they really wanna be. You'd think the media wouldn't affect reality. Transgender people as myself did not like it. Yes, fetishization is bad. It feeds into stereotypes and gives people the wrong idea. Like when people start fetishizing minorities. That isn't support. You like the idea of them. You don't actually like them. Sexualism. There's a wrong and right way to do it. People are allowed to express their sexuality. However, when people start sexualizing the wrong things such as minors, animals, feral, and every other illegal thing on the planet, it gets bad. Okay, why do you use that in a mocking tone? The shirt. Really? It isn't funny and isn't proving your point at all. And no one said you couldn't have fun. They were being blatantly being problematic. The mocking tone, while using the active shirt, isn't the greatest look on you, not at all.
What did we say about fiction and reality? Also, what's the issue with being a soft boy? Now, are you trying to say that women can't be muscular? Who's the stereotyper here? You or me?
Not to mention that these people can't seem to realize what a running gag is.
Please, stop mocking trans people who are upset with this. It's offensive to the community. You said listen to minorities, but continue to berate them and call them snowflakes. That isn't cool, man.
Yeah, you can listen to people of said group and still form your own opinion.
Plus, Sad apologized about it, I think. Plus, this is a year-old video. She was already implicated.
Show me where the apology is. People keep saying she apologized, but I haven't seen shit. I'm literally trans and a minority myself. I don't remember seeing an apology. If you can find it, please link it to me. And if she did apologize, she still kept the video up. Also, like I said, if how you treat people poorly is based on the media, then you are the problem, not the media. Also, the reason I use a mocking tone is to joke about how SJWs try to stop people from enjoying things because it's problematic. Also, are you trying to say that trans women can't be strong and muscular? You talk a lot about stereotypes, yet you assume all trans women have to be feminine and cute.
She keeps all her videos up for some reason, and I never said trans women couldn't be muscular. Though it's rather unlikely from what I heard from all my friends and those online. And I'm talking about the fetishization of them and not really portraying them directly. Calling the people who were rightly upset snowflakes isn't a good take.
Rightly upset at art that isn't even targeting them? Yeah, no. Even if it offends them, they have no right to attack the artist in question. To which they did.
It really depends, sadly. Not all of the people criticizing her were attacking her. Some of them were just explaining why they were upset / To be honest, I don't really trust people who say snowflake. It just comes from so many people who usually had iffy arguments.
So, stereotyping.
Unfortunately, yes.
So, it's okay to stereotype me because I use the word snowflake, but it's not okay for someone to draw a trans person the way they want because it's allegedly a stereotype.
Obviously.
Did they just admit to their own hypocrisy?
Sounds like it.
Sorry about the stereotype though.
That doesn't change the fact that you're a hypocrite. Joke's on you, because turns out due to recent events, Shannon is an asshole after all.
Fucking my point still stands. asshole or not, this video was in bad taste and this has nothing to do with the points you made in the video. This is a 3-month-old comment and you use stuff from recent events shows you didn't have an argument beforehand.
Doesn't mean that CSA cares about us. Or you even.
Also, the word Latinx wasn't created by white liberals. The term Latinx was created in the 80s during the women's fight for Latinas in Brazil. Latinx was around for a very long time and it's been used in Latino America for a very long time. Just because you didn't know about it doesn't mean it's new.
Really? Because according to Google, the most word search engine, the word Latinx came from the United States.
Not even the left-leaning censorship haven known as Google will defend these guys. Also, that doesn't matter because I'm not from Brazil. My heritage comes from New Mexico and Mexico. And just because it comes from Brazil doesn't make it less stupid. The letter X doesn't exist in Spanish. Either way, we already have a gender-neutral word, Latino. And if you don't like that, Hispanic. Fun fact, after this reply, they went to Harley TBS's server to complain about me.
Homeboy just gave me a new nickname, Hispanic.
Nice to know you're willing to shit-talk about me behind my back to other commentators.
Isn't that one of the things Shannon was accused of doing?
Yep.
I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
Jesus, you can call me by my username, not Hispanic Cheese.
They're saying Hispanic has another name for Latinos, so they should have made it a little more clear.
Hispanics and Latinos aren't the same thing.
I mean, they kinda are. I'm gonna cut in to elaborate on this point a bit more. It's more of a case of every Latino is a Hispanic, but not every Hispanic is a Latino.
They really aren't. Hispanics are from Mexico, Latinos are from Brazil.
Did she just say what I think she said?
Yep, and so much of it was wrong. Hispanics are from Spain, hence the name Hispanic. And Latinos are from Latin America, hence the name Latino. Can you not fucking read?
None SJWs.
Yeah, SJWs are the issue.
Yeah, you are the problem.
Guess I'm the problem for calling out slander.
Honestly, I did not enjoy this video. I'm not even gonna explain why.
Yeah, because why help people improve when you can just pointlessly insult the person?
Bro saying the worst thing too, they don't even see what they did wrong.
Yeah, because she didn't do anything wrong.
And how am I supposed to know what I did wrong if you don't tell me?
I know, right? They really missed the mark. They did SMH.
Joke's on you, because it turns out due to recent news that Shannon is an asshole after all.
I know that, but still, doesn't mean that you're in the right.
Yeah, but it shows that Shannon doesn't care about LGBT people as much as you thought she did.
Hey bro, the whole trans Captain America issue should have been left out. Not just because the way you acted when you first saw the pictures were absolutely inappropriate and only after the fact that the drawings are just...
I'm glad I offended you.
Not offended, just grossed out and disappointed in me and the humans. I watched this video hoping to find someone new to watch, but based on your first impression alone, I can say this video did nothing to further the argument of an argument that happened a long time ago. I disagree 100% with how you acted for the fetishized trans people issue. I'm not saying you can't joke, but it was a joke in poor taste. On a slight side note, you said at the beginning of the video that this was constructive criticism, but it feels more like an attack on Creepshow more than anything.
Grossed out and disappointed. So you mean you were offended?
And a long time ago? Hopeless Peaches says hi.
So how is this an attack on Shannon?
What makes you think that this is an attack?
If the only thing you can come back at me with is a statement I made at the end of my response, then does that mean you have nothing to come back at me with for your gross joke? Damn, that says something.
What was I supposed to say? I didn't know how it could be seen as an attack, so I asked you, and then you don't tell me. How do you expect someone to improve if you can't even explain why they're wrong?
The fact that she straight up said, I'm glad I offended you, is toxic F. You're actually fucking dog water.
So, me making a video criticizing Shannon is an attack on Shannon, yet you calling me dog water is perfectly fine. Nice to see that you're a hypocrite.
Hell, cringe and hell.
You're not funny.
Joke's on you, because it turns out due to recent news, Shannon is an asshole after all.
She may have been the reason of this conversation, but she was not a focal point. This was about you, not her, sexualizing trans. Also, this convo was 3 months old in its stem, so stop replying, idiot.
In the first comment of the thread, you said I was attacking Shannon. That was literally one of the things that you brought up.
So as another brown woman who has watched the video made by Shannon, was it really it? No, but I don't believe she had bad intentions with it. I do in some of the works see it come off as bad representation of black and black people. Also still harping on this old video that Shannon made is a bit pointless as people have brought it up before and it was a good point to focus back when the Toby stuff was happening, so bringing this up just come off as trying to dig up dead drama. I get how someone might think that art can't be racist or hurt people, but it definitely can, and my black mother also saw the work being discussed in that video, particularly the work depicting black characters, and said it did come off as offensive to her. Where some people make the same work in one way or other will view it in another, some might see it as racist, others may not. Someone saying the work is racist doesn't make them a racist show.
Even though the artist wasn't doing it with the intention to offend.
Even if it comes off as offensive to some people, it doesn't mean it harms the rights of people. What I'm trying to say is it's not worth calling out.
If you think like that, then even other little things that do not technically harm your rights but are still very offensive for you all homo. Sorry, but I really don't agree with you. Disrespecting is still considered being racist, so drawing someone that is black with excessively characterized proportions is gender racist. And I don't really like the sexualizing something is okay thing either, because it depends from case to case. Sexualizing cartoon characters and not real characters is fine, not always. Like with characters under 18 it's still a bit sick, but sexualizing real people is completely insane. It's like what is happening with the Dream SMP and all the people drawing and writing sexual scenarios about people that have real lives and, in some cases, are also under 18. Not cool.
If it doesn't hurt the rights of people, then why is it even a problem to begin with?
Also, you say that sexualizing real people is bad. You do realize Captain America isn't real, right?
She's not one of those comic fans. She was calling out people like that. And FTM black person here. The Captain America art is in fact the problem. Even if it is just for the sake of porn, it's fetishing people who just want to live their lives. It's fine to draw feminine trans men, but drawing us as women with a manly face is a huge issue. With racism accusation, it was an exaggeration, but it was a rightful concern. The art style did incorporate multiple racist elements when drawing black characters, most noticeably the lips are larger than any other characters. Also, you made one comment that concerns me. You do realize art can still be racist, right? Just because art cannot physically hurt anyone doesn't mean it's impossible to be racist. Edit. Just wanted to add in here that my name on my YouTube account is my deadman because I use this email for my personal life as well.
So she's not one of those comic fans that shoves their normie politics into every piece of media.
Somehow I doubt it.
Also, they're not fetishizing a real person, so there's no issue.
As for the racism accusations, if it's not hurting black people, then what's the actual issue? Not to mention there are black people IRL who have those features. Not all, but some.
I don't think she's going to understand it. All she keeps saying is, well, people say that violent video games make violent people, so I don't see the problem. Trust me, as a trans man, I've been fighting her back and forth that the sexualization of trans men is not okay, and she tries to defend herself like, no, but I am a trans woman and in Latina. But I'm glad that black person who is also trans agrees that it's a problem.
That isn't the only argument that Carmen made, but we'll get to that later.
So, because you don't agree with me, you're taking away my right to an opinion. Alright.
Right to an opinion, but if y'all are sitting there discrediting how people feel because y'all are a trans but you don't see it that way, because y'all are not a trans male and you are not black, you don't really have a right to have an opinion in it, honey. If you actually read the comments, it says I am a trans male. I do not feel good when people draw me with big boobies. Big boobies make me feel dysphoric, but that goes through one ear and right out the other, right?
So because I'm not specifically a trans male, I can't talk about it?
Not only are you using identity politics, but you are also moving the goalpost.
Also, they weren't drawing you with massive male tanks. They were drawing Captain America with them.
The world doesn't revolve around you.
But hey, if you hate big hills so much, let me just scoot a bit closer and... There we go. Now let's continue.
Also, I didn't take away your right to an opinion. In saying you're not gonna listen because clearly you haven't. So many trans guys have been like, yeah, the trans is uncomfortable to me, but you're too wise and well to listen and pick and choose what you hear.
Did you really just use the everyone who doesn't agree with me as a sheep argument?
Kim to prove his point by immediately trying to nitpick one aspect of his comment to discredit him instead of addressing any of the criticism against you. And he doesn't even try to take away your right to an opinion. He says you don't listen. You responded by not listening.
The fact that I responded to part of his argument is proof that I was listening. You debunked yourself. Joke's on you, because turns out due to recent news that Shannon is an asshole after all.
That doesn't mean you're right. My argument wasn't Creepshow good, it was your argument was bad.
At least Herman actually cares about other trans people.
And I wasn't the one who called trans men fake boys, yet somehow I'm the problem here. I'm just pointing out irony is all.
You really have no say in this looking at your avatar.
If the anime profile picture argument didn't work for Brittany Venti, what makes you think it would work for you? What are you getting at?
The topics were the fetishization of trans men and racist drawings of a black person. Not, well, I don't see a problem with it, so it's okay to do it. That's literally all this video says. Stop trying to normalize racism and the fetishization of trans people. How about I throw you in a degrading way and say, well, I don't see a problem with it, so it's fine, because that's what you sound like, dumbass. Actually research the topic at hand before you even try to say that it's okay to do it.
There's that word again. Normalize. For when SJWs can't find a real reason to ban something they don't like.
If you can't tell the difference from fiction and reality, then you are the problem, not the media.
As for your question, I guess it depends on intent. If it's made with good intent like the original artist intended it to be, then it's fine. And if it's bad on purpose, then honestly I don't care.
Your comprehension skills are AWFUL.
How so?
It wasn't an excuse to deflect criticism, it was a warning for anyone who may be sensitive to these topics. It really just shows how you're mindlessly coming for Shannon without actually understanding her content. Part of the criteria that is the IPAL when combating statements/arguments.
Even though no one knew about this person till now.
I don't condone everything Shannon's done, but even I can see that this video was poorly made.
Considering when you tagged on this comment, and the fact that you tagged on this comment, shows that even you know your argument is flimsy. Yeah, that's all for today. If you want more from me, you can follow my Twitter, watch my DeviantArt. If you want to talk to me directly, you can join my Discord server. If you want to support the channel, you can donate to my Patreon. Until next time, goodbye.